My Neighbor Totoro. I know a lot of people love this Ghibli film. I think if I was a lot younger, like if I'd grown up on anime like a lot of people probably watching this did, and didn't start it when they were in their 20s, this would have been probably like a childhood classic and probably would have been like a 9 or a 10. But for me, watching it, I thought it was good. I can understand why people like it. It's a 7. This literally aired the day of me recording this, tacked OP Destiny. For me already, it's been one episode. I think it's going to be my anime of the season, if not the year so far. A Mappa Madhouse collaboration. It's just amazing. Currently airing, so watch it now. Wonder Egg Priority. I love Wonder Egg Priority. I think it's amazing. It's just a shame about that last episode was just really bad. But this is obviously not including that special episode. This is just the original 12 without that weird recap episode we had, episode 13. Wonder Egg was really good. I know a lot of people are dogging it, but that's literally just because of the ending. The rest of it is really good. If you like Madoka Magica, I think it's very much in the same vein as that. Tokyo Revenge is another one I finished quite recently. Just love that we have a protagonist that is just not some super buff, some absolute superhero that can just solve every problem. Takemichi is just, an average guy that we can all relate to and just wants the best, and, he's just trying his hardest. And that's why it just does so well. Plus all the supporting characters like Mikey and Draken and all that are just fantastic. They're just amazing characters. Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train film, I watched in cinemas actually. I was fortunate enough to go watch. Fantastic film, fantastic animation quality, but it's one of the most popular shonen already of all time, and stuff like that. It was bound to be good. Great Pretender. This is only season 1. I've not watched season 2 because a lot of people said it's not that great. I thought season 1 of Great Pretender was amazing, really good, interesting art style, and solid anime. Season 2 of Quintessential Quintuplets, I've actually put a level above Season 1. I thought Season 2 was a lot better than Season 1. Season 1 obviously was establishing characters and things like that, so, you can't put too much on it because, you've got to... Season 2 did so well because Season 1, had already established these characters for us, but Season 2 just really is up the stakes, and it's, we finally hit, like, the peak, if you want to call it, like, the middle of the story, really. And obviously, when we hopefully get a season 3, it's going to conclude all of this, and then we're going to see who he marries in the end. Don't spoil it. I know the manga is concluded, so people know the ending, but don't spoil it for others in the comments. Violet Evergarden movie. I love Violet Evergarden. This is Eternity in the Auto Memory Doll. Really, just if you've not watched Violet Evergarden, what are you doing? It's one of the most emotional, amazingly animated animes ever. I love it so much. Kobayashi Dragon Maid, 2nd season, finished quite recently, loved it, just as good as season 1. The inclusion of Ilyu was amazing. If you want to see more of my thoughts on that, yet again I'll put a link to a video I made on that. Laid Back Camp season 2, I know it's at an 8 and people are probably thinking, oh that's strange. Laid Back Camp is another one of those animes for me, it's just a guilty pleasure like Girls and Panzer. I just think it's just so wholesome, and it, when it was on, it was just, if you're having a bad day, you stick this on, this sorts you out in a second. The Konosuba movie, Legend of Crimson, I think it was called. It's Konosuba, I love Konosuba, stuff makes me laugh like hell. Demon Slayer, it's Demon Slayer, do I have to say much more? JoJo Part 5, Golden Wind, I loved this. This was, for me, this is the most consistent JoJo. I think other parts are very up and down, like the highs are really high and some of the lows can be quite, not super low, but quite boring. I thought Part 5 was just, it had obviously really good moments, but I just thought it was the most like consistent JoJo. It just, every episode was enjoyable, in my opinion. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, really interesting concept, a really well done anime, very popular anime as well. But if you've not watched it, watch it. I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know if I can really. I don't know if I can really like give the synopsis of it without spoiling it too much. But it's just fantastic anime. Asobi Asabas, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's so funny. It's some of the funniest stuff I've ever watched. This stuff had me dying. I wish it was a 2nd season of it. 12 episodes was not enough. I needed more. Violet Evergarden, I think this was the special. Yeah, it doesn't have an English name. I think this was just like the they had like a special episode. Violet Evergarden, love Violet Evergarden. This is where people are going to rip me apart, but I love Darling in the Franxx. People obviously like, oh, you know, the first 2 episodes are just a rip off of Evangelion, and then part 2 of the season, like the last 12 episodes, are just some weird, made no sense and all that. I just thought Darling in the Franxx was amazing, and that's not just because of 02, as much as I love 02. I just thought all the stuff they just brought up in it, like with these kids just like missing out on a childhood, and like especially like round the middle when they get moved into that separate house and they start developing, like, you know, they start acting like real, you know, teenagers and stuff like that, and they start experiencing the stuff that they've been deprived of their whole life, like love and wanting children and stuff like that. I just thought it really, really well done and really heartwarming. Laid Back Camp Season 1, love it. Dragon Maid Season 1, love it. Your Name, I think this is, isn't it? Yeah, Your Name. Really good, really good film, actually. I'm not really into like a lot of this, a lot of like romance stuff, but you know, you can tell just by the score. People loved this, and I was just like, you know, I'll give it a go. And yeah, it was well worth it. If you've not watched Your Name, you are doing yourself an injustice. It's really good. JoJo Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. It's probably in contention for my favourite season of the animated JoJo we have so far. Obviously, we haven't got 6, 7, and 8 JoJolion yet. So, but Part 4, I think Part 4 it started out a little slow, but then it has just Yoshikage Kira in it, and what more do you want me to say? ReZero, quite a basic pick, but it's basic for a reason, and it's this high for a reason. ReZero is one of the best, if not my favourite, isekai. Konosuba is up there, but Konosuba I see more as a comedy. I know it is an isekai, but ReZero is like a proper isekai, really takes itself seriously, and the way it's done is just super good. And you'll see further up, I've got a certain Steins Gate, you might have heard of it. Similar sort of premise with the going back in time, like resetting and stuff, and just having horrible stuff happen to you, and the emotional impact that has. ReZero is just really well done. This is only Season 1, I've not watched Season 2 yet, I will get around to it eventually. Kill la Kill, told you before, Studio Trigger, love Studio Trigger. Kill la Kill is amazing, very unique art style. I thought it was just, it's funny, it's got action, it hits all the right notes with me. Madoka Magica, another one that was recommended to me. I do like my magical girl stuff, but obviously this is not a typical magical girl show. If you've watched it, you know what I mean. If you haven't, go watch it, it's amazing. Evangelion 2.0, and I'll do 1.0, I'll put them together. Basically, this was just like a reanimated rejig of Evangelion, the TV show that we know, but obviously updated animations, updated everything, just another retelling of the story. So yeah, I like it a lot, love it. This is The Cat Returns. I think this was actually the first Studio Ghibli film I watched. This is probably why it's so high, because I've probably got a bit of a bias to it, but this seems to be one that I keep coming back to and rewatching a lot. I don't know why. I think it's because I like cats, I don't know. It's not obviously the best Studio Ghibli film, but it's just one that I seem to find comfort in and come back to a lot. Same with Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, and Mononoke, that are all grouped up here. They're just, you know, people are like, oh, Ghibli's such a basic pick and all that, I know, but people rate them this highly for a reason, because they are just really, really good films. They are amazing films. Cowboy Bebop for me is like another show I actually dropped, similar to Angel Beats. I dropped it for a time because actually watching it I was like, this is not as good as what people say, you know, and that's me being honest. But when I finally got through it and watched all of it, I was like, wow, Cowboy Bebop is one of those that is, for me, it's one, because it has got an overarching story, but it's also a lot of very independent stories. Like each episode is just kind of like its own thing. Some episodes just do it better for me than others. I think some episodes were like absolutely blew me away, and I was like, this is some of the best anime I've ever watched. And then some episodes were quite boring, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, overall it's an amazing show. It's got to be an 8. Violet Evergarden I've already told you about. It's just so good. It's just so good. Konosuba season 1 and 2, you will understand that Konosuba for me is just like some of the... You probably think, oh god, he's got an awful taste in humour, and, you know, why the hell is he putting Konosuba at a 9? Konosuba is just, for me, it's just so funny. It's something I can just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, and the fact that it's only 10 episode seasons really hurts me. I want more of this. Anohana, this shit broke me so bad. Anohana is... I don't think I'm over it. You know, it's been like a year since I watched Anohana, maybe even a year and a half, and I'm still not over that shit, and that is why it is a 9. It's so good. Steins Gate as well, I'm still not over Steins Gate. It's a classic, it's a modern classic for a reason. Just such good animation. You know, it's just... The storytelling is just amazing, and it really just hits you emotionally. What you'll find is a lot of these like top 6 are just really emotional ones, and that's, you know, as much as I like my trashy, you know, the ones that I do rate quite highly are the more emotional, impacting ones. The most recent Eva and the final Eva film, unfortunately, but you know, it had to come to an end eventually. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time. If you want to see my opinions on that, I do have a video. I put a link to it. It'll pop up in your top right now. The original Evangelion, the series, I gave a 9. It's just, I'm just a massive Eva fan personally. I just think it's still some of the best anime I've ever watched. It's a classic. I just think it's got everything. It just hits everything. I think it's one of those things, it's like Marmite, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I think Eva, it's not really those ones that you think, oh, it's fine. You either think, God, this makes no sense, or you think, God, I really jive with this, and it connects with me on a spiritual level. And then this is one where you're going to think, oh God, he's so basic. He's put Spirited Away as a 10 out of 10. But for me, a 10 by my anime list standards is a masterpiece, is what they call it. In my opinion, Spirited Away is... You know, in years to come, and still years now, when did this come out? Early 2000s? 2001, 2002, something like that, I think. 2001. It still holds up so well, and I think, you know, in another 20 years' time, this is still going to be referred to as probably like the best Ghibli film, and, you know, it's like Japan's answer to Disney, really, isn't it? I just think it's just... What I see as a masterpiece is just something that I just think, you know, it's just, especially with Ghibli, it's just something so mass appealing. You could give this to any family in any corner of the world, and, you know, they would just love this to pieces, and I do. I just think it's great. And then finally, number 1 is going to be Evangelion, the end of Evangelion, the film. I've put this a rank higher than the show just because I think the way they did the ending was a lot more fulfilling and a lot more... answered a lot more questions. Obviously, there was reasons the ending for the TV show for Eva was, you know, the way it was, but, you know, End of Eva for me is just, it is a masterpiece, visually and script wise. I just think it is the perfect anime. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching this. Feel free to roast me down below, because I know I've got trash opinion in anime. But yeah, I might split this into 2 parts, I'm not sure yet, because it has gone on quite a while, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, thank you for watching, make sure to like and sub, and I'll see you next time.